Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. If you've been watching me recently, you will have seen that I unboxed a spin twist paint rig for bolt-on neck guitars. In fact, you might be able to see back there behind some stuff, I have also the drying station for that, and that thing has been unreal. It's been a huge help. It's really improved my workflow. Yeah, no complaints. As it turns out, not everybody does bolt-on neck guitars, or more importantly, not every guitar you do will be bolt-on neck necessarily. I do a fair few set neck guitars, and it's always a pain. You always end up screwing like a hook into the bottom strap button hole and hanging it and kind of hoping for the best. It's tough to like airbrush them, tough to lock them in place because there's nothing to hold them there. And actually, I almost invariably get somebody telling me that there's no way that hook in the strap button hole will hold it there, which isn't true. It always works. But anyway, we've got a solution now. Spin twist paint rig. They now have a set neck model. In fact, they may have had one when I did the other one. I think they were still kind of ironing out the final details on it. It looks awesome. I've seen the videos. Check them out on Instagram and YouTube if you want to see how this works from them directly. But hey, I'm going to show you. So I'm going to get this unboxed right now. I know the actual unboxing process, probably not that interesting, so I'm just going to rip it out of the box and then we'll get it set up. Let's go. So this one has shorter legs than the bolt-on neck rig, just because of where it's supposed to sit and how tall the guitar bodies are. Well, not just the guitar bodies, the guitar body and neck for this one. It's got to sit a little closer to the ground. The whole rig's got to be a little bit taller because of the type of guitar going on it. So you can actually buy different lengths of legs for these. So if you want to replace them, if you want to sit this whole rig on top of a table and just have a leg that's, a few inches long, you can get those. They're available on Amazon. Pretty straightforward. And you can contact the guy who makes these at Spin Twist Paint Rig to figure out exactly what you need and where to get it. So once those are done, I think we start assembling the mechanism itself that holds the guitar. This thing's got a brake system. It's got a bunch of stuff. Let's see what's next. Okay, so next up we're going to flip this guy onto its side. We're going to try and get our bearings lined up. There are two set screws. I don't know if you can see me properly. Two set screws on the bearings. We need those lined up with each other. There we go. And we're getting the bottom piece of the handle in there. There's a line on here to show us how far in we're supposed to go. Okay, I think that's right to the top of the table. That makes sense to me. And then those bearings are lined up. Now I'm going to tighten them up with the Allen key that comes with this. Okay, so just tighten. There are 4 set screws here. Kind of got to take turns tightening them so you don't force the thing over to one side too much. This is how we make sure that this moves smoothly. So important to get those lined up. If you don't get them lined up, the thing will still work, I think. It just won't run as smoothly. And that's kind of the whole point, is you want this to be able to twist nice and easy, nice and smooth. Now let's get this stood up carefully so it's not going to fall. Get our spoke done. We've got our main rig handle here and the spoke for it. This should be in the middle. What's going on here? There we go. And it comes with an Allen key here to get this loosened off all the way. This one's pretty close. You can just take the bolts right out too, of course, but give ourselves some room to work with. All right, make sure that's straight, and then we'll crank her down. All right. Get this part tightened up as well, but we're not going to tighten up those other two just yet because in fact, we'll only tighten this one part way. We're going to wait till we get all of this assembled. So the next thing that goes in here is the actual handle that holds the, holds the guitar basically. Again, we've got a nice black line here that tells us how far in to put this. And this faces back out toward the rest of the handle. So we'll work that in there. I could loosen that off a bit, but it's fine. Work that in there and get it tightened up carefully. And I'm going to line this up with the rest of the handle. Because it's set up like this, it's easy to fix anything later if it, if you don't get it lined up quite right, but easier to get it right the first time, right? So there we go. Get that clamped down. And then at this point, everything is nice and rigid and secure anyway, but I'm going to tighten this up just a little bit more. And there we go. Good to go. Coming along. So I think this is where I'm going to need to get my table out of the way because this thing's about to get tall. Okay, so we'll drop that in. We'll get that tightened back up. Good enough. Nice smooth spin on this, like that. And then kind of finally here, we install our brake. So brake just slides on from the end and right in here. Got nice rubber flange there. You can just do this bolt up. It doesn't need to be crazy tight, but you can crank it if you want. And this still spins, but if I'm understanding this correctly, as soon as I lock that down, okay, now it's tighter. And if I tighten it to the other side, now I can lock it. So it won't move anymore. All right. Well, that's nifty. Let's see what else. All right, guys, so that's it. The rig is fully assembled. Now, what we have is it comes with 4 of these. These connect right into the pickup cavity on your guitar. So you slide one of these in here with your guitar attached, and then you take your handle, slide it on from the other side, and stick a pin through it. It comes with this, of course. And there you go. Now it's stuck. Guitar can't come off. Guitar is here. You can flip it around like that, spin it. Yeah, pretty solid. And this can actually lock in sideways, I think. Yeah, so you can put this, because of the way the pin's set up, you can lock it vertical, lock it horizontal, and that's it. That is fancy. Let's quickly see if we can get a guitar hooked up to this and test it out without actually spraying it. Oh, and it comes with a bag of screws, of course, to hook up to a guitar. Okay, so as it turns out, I don't actually have a set neck guitar at the shop right now that I can demo, but what I do have is this guy that looks like a set neck guitar with no neck, but it's got the top from the bolt-on rig on it. So let's pretend that that's a neck, and now I've bolted in or screwed in, because it comes with screws, the set neck rig piece. So keep in mind, this may not fit into your classic like small Stratocaster style single coil cavity. So if you're going to use this for a set neck Strat, if there's such a thing, you don't need a humbucker cavity, but you need at least a little bit more than those kind of random routed single coils, I think. Probably like maybe just slightly bigger than that, not even P90 size. Anyway, I'm going to grab the handle. Let's see how this looks. All right, so we fire that through there. Put this on. Get it pinned in place. So you would basically hit the back of this thing like this. Spray the front. Whatever you need to do there. Pretty straightforward. You can lock it in place simply by, as we said, pushing it in. So that's awesome, right? And then you would use this, because if you let go of it, it could conceivably come off there. You could even deepen those out a little bit. But anyway, put that there, boom, locked in place. No strength required to hold it. Flip it around, push it in again, boom, locked in place again. Piece of cake. Flip it over. Boom, locked in place. Get the back done. Yeah, I mean, what more can you ask for, really? I guess your edges, you may want to flip your fan around. In fact, I guess that's what you do. You flip your fan around so it's horizontal, or you use your spray can this way. Do your edges, right? I realize I would have just hit myself in the face with the neck, but do your neck, do your edges, and then vertical, right? Vertical. And then if you need to do some detail work, some airbrushing, whatever, or if you prefer to spray horizontally, you can lock it in this way. That's a pretty cool rig. Yeah, my congratulations to the designer. The set necks are always more complicated, more difficult. There have been a bunch of different designs set up for them, some that hold them at either end with something through like one of the tuning peg holes and stuff. They're always complicated. Some of them are good, some of them aren't. This is good. This is a good design. I like it. So, with that said, you've seen how it works. This is, I mean, anytime you want to spray a set neck, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, a little bit more complicated. I can go in and tighten a couple of these bolts a little bit more, I think. Anyway, a little bit more challenging than doing a typical bolt-on, because there's more to deal with, there's more to work with. But I don't think you can ask for a much better option than this, especially in this footprint. Like, I've seen a couple that are very, very big. They take up a ton of space. There's like a big arm that comes out. They're cool, but in this area, no. Not something you'd put in like your garage. You got to have a huge space for those. And frankly, they're probably insanely expensive to set up. This, not so bad. And let's not forget, you can also lock it at the bottom so it stops rotating if you want. So you can really lock this thing in place to do detail work, airbrushing, actual brushing if you feel the need to do it, whatever. I think that's about it. So if you guys are interested in this, take a look at the link in the description. It should be a Reverb link, I think. Yeah, Spin Twist spray paint rig. Pretty awesome. Actually, I think it's just called Spin Twist paint rig now. Name is more concise than it was before. So really happy with that. Looking forward to using it. We'll do some demos soon. I've got at least one set neck project that's going to be spray painted pretty quick here. And by spray painted, I mean painted with a gun. So that'll be fun. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe so you can see me use this thing and the bolt-on neck version. And as always, have a good one, and I will see you next time.